Hey everyone, Nick here and welcome back to GamerTube, and welcome to the next chapter in our Five Nights at Freddy's character concept series. So in this series we'll be looking at the Swamp Shack Pizzeria, and the first character at the Swamp Shack Pizzeria will be Greg the Gator. So we'll look into Greg the Gator's location, gameplay mechanics, backstory and all that good stuff as well. As always, I will just state that this isn't linked to the overall universe and lore of FNAF. This is just a fun creepy story we get to tell and we hope you enjoy. And lastly, do be sure to subscribe to GamerTube as it helps out a lot and it's greatly appreciated. It also keeps you up to date with all the videos that we post. Alrighty, well, let's get into the character concept of Greg the Gator. So before we get into our character concept, let's first take a look at the other themed pizzerias in the series. So our previous videos we've explored the Jungle Party Pizzeria, the Funtime Farm Pizzeria, the Water Wonderland Pizzeria, the Insect Kingdom Pizzeria, the Jolly Jurassic Pizzeria, and the North Pole Pizzeria. Each of these establishments have had a number of creepy animatronics that were hellbent on terrorizing the player. The player would survive through the nights the best they could. All of these frightening animatronics had their own disturbing backstory and reasons for attacking the player. But now across the country in a new state stood another branch in the Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria family. And this new establishment is called the Swamp Shack Pizzeria. This was a swamp-themed children's entertainment restaurant. Like most Freddy Fazbear establishments, they had a number of fun attractions and areas that would fit the theme. But we'll get into those as we progress through the videos. But apart from the party area, the seating and dining area, there was the Bayou Boogie main stage. This is where the animatronics would perform all their jolly birthday songs for all the guests. Speaking of animatronics, let's meet our first swamp character. So the first character we're introducing is Greg the Gator. Greg was of course modelled after the swamp-dwelling animal, the alligator. Just like the logo, the engineers went with a bright green and yellow colour scheme. Greg was quite a unique looking character. Their chest and torso was different to the other animatronics. And due to their snout, they had one of the largest heads of all the characters. So Greg's role up on stage was that of the main singer. Considering that he was the main character of the restaurant, it only seemed right to put him on main mic. So Greg would sing their jolly songs up on stage with the rest of the band. Greg was by far the most popular character at the pizzeria. All of their merchandise sold quite well, and as far as management was concerned, Greg was considered to be quite the successful animatronic. But like all characters at Freddy Fazbear's, they would all change for the worst soon enough. So each and every character at the Swamp Shack Pizzeria had their own unique characteristics and traits. Greg the Gator was considered to be happy, friendly, optimistic, and humorous. But above all, Greg's main character trait was his obsession with his big shiny white teeth. He loved them. Any chance he could, he would stare at them in the mirror. The employees would be sure to brush and polish Greg's teeth whenever they could. If they didn't, Greg's mood would start to change. Sometimes for the worst. So on the unfortunate day of their accident, it was a normal day as any. Greg was singing up on stage, and all the kids were having a great time. But little did Greg know that he was moments away from disaster. So the Swamp Shack Pizzeria was quite the old building. As it aged throughout the years, so did its internal structure. As time went on, the ceiling above the stage grew weaker and weaker. And today was the day that it finally gave way. So while Greg was doing a solo performance up on stage, the ceiling gave way and collapsed on top of him. Luckily, none of the children were injured, and all the staff members made it out. But a few days went by when the emergency workers could retrieve Greg's body from the rubble. Sadly, when they retrieved his body, it was badly damaged in the accident. But one of the saddest things of all was Greg's big shiny white teeth were cracked and damaged. Greg was nothing without his signature sharp shiny teeth. This made Greg very sad and extremely angry. In the meantime, the pizzeria had to close for a month while they rebuilt the ceiling. This meant no happy smiling kids and no singing on stage. The only people who came and went was a handful of contractors and builders by day and the night guard at night. Some of the employees came in to activate the characters into their free roam setting, But apart from that, it was quite lonely for poor Greg. The company planned on repairing Greg when it got closer to reopening. Fazbear Entertainment had sent some spare parts that were due any day now. They finally arrived and were stored in the repair room. Greg had grown so bored being stuck in this dusty old repair room. Curiosity got the best of them and they decided to see what was in these boxes. And to their surprise, they saw something they found very interesting. But before we continue, first a word from our sponsor.
Welcome to Swamp Shack Pizzeria! In the mood for some piping hot pizza and hours of fun? Then come on down to Swamp Shack Pizzeria!
To their shock and surprise, it was a whole box of new white and shiny teeth. The company had sent some spare teeth as well, just in case. But Greg needed to have them all. So they grabbed the teeth and a bit of glue and they got to work. And before they knew it, they had a whole new set of sharp, shiny teeth. Greg has obviously glued way too many teeth in, but this was the way he liked it. All of these new sharp teeth made him feel powerful. With this newfound confidence, something came over them. Something quite sinister. They desperately wanted to test out their new teeth. They had a sudden urge to sink them into something soft and chewy. The only thing that came to mind was the Night Guard. Their human body was definitely soft and chewy. Greg only wanted just a bite, but with this darker and more sinister side to him, who knows if he'd stop at just one bite. So now let's get to the gameplay segment of the video. So as always, the gameplay loop is based on the classic FNAF formula of observation and management. The player now finds themselves in a different looking office to the past videos. This time the office is located down in the basement. There's two stairways that lead down into the basement security office. Inside the office we have the left-hand doorway, the large viewing window, and the right side air vent. The animatronic characters can access both the left-hand door, and some can access the right-hand air vent. Seems simple enough, but this does come with some conditions. Due to the intense tropical heat in the Swamp Shack Pizzeria's region, it can tend to get quite hot. If the player closes the air vent for an extended period of time, they will start to experience heat stroke. Also, due to this intense heat, the electronics can also overheat and shut down. This is where the control panel comes into play. A player will need to reboot either the doors, air vent, or security cameras. Multiple times a night, they will all shut down. The player will be notified on their control panel and reboot them if needed. So, as for Greg, his starting position would always be on the stage. He can approach from the right side or walk over to the door from the left. When he walks over from the left, that would be more ideal. This gives the player some time to see Greg before they can act. Besides approaching the door, Greg can also spy on the player from the vent. He would place his eye into the vent and keep watch of the player. The player needs to quickly shut the vent in order to block its view. If the player leaves the eye staring at them, Greg will know the perfect time to strike. And they would burst into the room without the player being able to stop it. As far as gameplay tactics go, Greg being the first character would be pretty simplistic. But the added danger of the electronics going out and the 2 points of entry would keep the player on their toes. And if they weren't careful, then they'd be greeted with a classic FNAF jump scare. So I think Greg would be a great first addition to the Swamp Shack Pizzeria roster of characters. I think an alligator is a perfect fit for the theme and the vibe of this new restaurant. Their frightening appearance and rows of jagged sharp teeth would definitely offer a fair share of jump scares here and there. Alrighty everyone, well that's all we have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, commenting and subscribing, as it helps out a lot and it's greatly appreciated. And as always, do let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of Greg the Gator and what you'd like to see going forward. Alrighty everyone, well until the next video, I'll catch you later, bye.